Good morning, everybody, on a gorgeous June 8th morning here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hope everybody had an incredible Memorial Day weekend 2 weeks ago and that you enjoyed the summer heat this past weekend. And hopefully your business is heating up because I'll tell you, after looking at the stats closing out May and looking at what's going on in the marketplace, it's deceptive, but it's heating up and we'll get into it. So we're very fortunate. We closed out the month of May. We have a bunch of people to celebrate today. I'm super stoked to recognize a ton of people. We got a handful of people back. We have people that are joining our leadership team, a couple announcements to make. So let's just jump right into it. First up, as we've stated before, our mission, vision, values, our belief systems, and what drives our business in order to serve you guys at the highest level, right? Our vision to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers, and everything we'll talk about today is really around is delivering our vision for you guys. And delivering to serve you guys at the highest level. And part of that is recognizing people, giving people opportunity. And when we see talent or when talent shows up, providing them opportunity for continuous growth, whether it's in your personal business, whether it's in personal growth and development. And that's what I'm super stoked to talk about today. So jumping into it, we closed out May and we got a bunch of people to celebrate in terms of cappers. First one up, Joey Carini, the man, the myth, the legend who just shreds it on the axe. Joey Carini, congrats on capping in the month of May. Super stoked for you capping as you head into the summer. All right, next up, Catherine Cronin. Get this, guys. Catherine actually used to work for a very good friend of mine. And my friend called me one day and said, "Hey, is Catherine Cronin interviewing at KW?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And she goes, "Don't even hesitate. Hire her tomorrow. She will do incredibly well." Catherine Cronin, you've lived up to the hype, sister. Congrats on capping in the month of May. All right, next up, Dusty and Connie Lorino, congrats on capping in the month of May. I know you went down to Atlanta to see your two beautiful grandkids down in Atlanta over Memorial Day weekend. Congrats on capping in the month of May. You've earned it, you've enjoyed it, and congrats on your continued success in this business and all that you do to continue to serve your clients. Actually, a little anecdote. Yesterday, Connie and Dusty had a closing here in the North Shore office, and the client came out and without even unprompted said, "You guys were phenomenal. You guys provide an incredible level of service, and we'll continue to refer you to our friends and family." That talk about customer service at the highest level. When you get an unprompted review like that at the closing table, congrats on Dusty and Connie. Next up, the man who just slings deals left and right has made the transition from commercial over into residential and still dabbles in a little bit of commercial here and there. Dan Mickelson, just absolutely killing the game. Dan, congrats on capping in the month of May. Next up, this dude is about ready to have his first kid, and he could use every dollar and dime he's earned. Newbie, congrats on capping in the month of May. I hope that you spoil your queen and Alicia, and as you guys are about ready to welcome a new baby into the world. So Newbie, congrats on capping in the month of May. Next up, you talk about someone who absolutely takes advantage of opportunities in building a big business, building a big life, and taking advantage of the world in which around her. Lindsay Weber, from her staging company to transaction management services to her own real estate company with Fernwood. Lindsay Weber, congrats on capping in the month of May. You're a true testament to anything and everything that you want to build at KW, and you're able to do and come to fruition. Congrats on all of your continued success. Next up, this guy just walked his daughter down the aisle for her wedding. Randy Young, congrats on capping in the month of May. I hope you guys and Morgan had an incredible wedding. The pictures looked phenomenal. I'm sure after a wedding, it is nice to be capping in the month of May. Congrats, Randy Young, on capping in the month of May. And big shout out to Morgan Young, who just got married a few weeks ago, Randy's daughter and partner in crime in real estate. Next up, we got two more people. New person to the game, incredibly intelligent individual. I just met them a couple weeks ago and was very inquisitive, very curious, planted a couple seeds. And I learned a ton from him. Noah Jacobson, who is on Paul's team with the Nicollet Group Real Estate, incredibly smart dude. Noah Jacobson, congrats on capping in lightning speed in the month of May. And then finally, Kathy Popovich, the woman, the myth, the legend, who not only does real estate in the state of Ohio, runs Team Trimble at an incredibly high level, incredibly efficient, and is also now selling real estate in the state of Wisconsin. Again, a testament to what you're able to do in the KW world, the KW community, and take advantage of all the opportunities presented. Kathy Popovich, congrats on capping in the month of May. All right, guys, I'm flipping it over to Lindsay. Lindsay, what do we got coming for Tech Tuesdays and best practices and helping people manage their database through Command?
Yeah, so this week, you guys, it's all about contacts, but it's more than just adding your contacts into Command. It's learning how to effectively manage your database. So today is more than just uploading your contacts. It's really just utilizing the entire system of that contacts applet. So as you can see on my screen here, so you've got tracking activities. So utilizing this tool, anytime you have a phone call with a client or a meeting or even a text message, you can go into that contact detail page and log that activity so that you can easily refer back to that the next time you have a meeting or conversation with that person. So adding all of those details in there is going to really help you in the long run to really just look at your contacts, see where you're at with them, and then adding tags. I talk about this a lot. So if we've sat down together, new agent, experienced agent, add your tags in there. That's really going to help you manage your entire database. And that's going to help you if you're sending out emails, smart plans, direct mailers. When you're adding those tags, you can easily filter by that tag. So you're sending out to the right group of people. You're communicating what you want at the right time. So you can tag them with either those system tags that are already in Command, or you can create your own custom tags based on your business. And then creating smart views. So these are going to allow you to customize how you view your contacts. So you can choose which columns show up on that main contact screen and in what order. So you can combine a column setup and a filter. So let's say you want to reach out to your sphere every single month. You can set up a filter. So you can filter by your sphere of influence tag. And then let's say you want to see their phone numbers all in that first column. So you can have their phone number, their tag, last time you contacted them. You can set up that specialized view so that you can easily, in that screenshot on my screen here, you can click on whatever you title that smart view. So it's like, okay, I need to go in, contact my sphere this month. I need to see my list of contacts in my sphere of influence, and you can just run down the line, make those phone calls, log those activities, and make those updates as you're going along and doing that. So this week's workshop's all about contacts, but it's more than just adding your contacts in there. It's effectively managing your database. So whether you have your contacts in or you don't have them in yet, it's a great class to attend, just to learn the ins and outs of this applet. So I'll get into it. So today at 1 o'clock is in Tosa, and then Thursday in Lake Country at 11. So same times as always. And you guys, one other announcement. So I have set up a Calendly link. So if you're not familiar with that, basically it's an online scheduler. So it's going to be a little bit easier to schedule tech appointments. So if we've emailed back and forth in the last couple of weeks, you may have noticed a new button that I have in my email signature. So you can schedule a one-on-one tech meeting by just clicking on that button in my email signature. So you can easily see which office I'll be at, and you can schedule an appointment just through this entire online scheduler. So you'll see that in my email signature. If for some reason you can't find it, reach out to me. I'll send you the link. But I think this will be a lot easier for you guys to see where I'll be at, what times I'm available. And then it's really nice because it adds it to your Google Calendar automatically as well. And then speaking of schedule, a little update for me. I will be at the Wauwatosa office beginning today, every single Tuesday from here on out. So North Shore, I'll be there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wauwatosa every Tuesday. And of course, Lake Country, same thing every Thursday.
Awesome, guys. Database management is the key to your success. And if you want to continue to grow your business, database management, Command has an unbelievable ability to help you manage it and help you manage where and what everything that is going on in your database. And a lot of what we're doing in terms of some of our restructuring and things that we're focusing on from a leadership team to best serve you guys is to provide you consistency in the value and consistency in your service. So one of the things that we recognized and identified is to ensure that you guys always know if you need to schedule a one-on-one with Lindsay, you can easily do it. And knowing exactly where she is across any of our locations on any given day, you can see here on a very consistent and routine basis where you will be able to find her if you want to meet with her one-on-one in person. So don't hesitate to reach out to Lindsay to help you set up your database and automate your lead generation. Cool. All right, Lindsay, thank you for the tech update. Guys, one other thing, Lindsay, do you want to kick off the KW Milwaukee new website? And I'm actually going to share my screen to jump into it.
Yeah, so you guys, this is a really great resource for everybody, whether you're a brand new associate just looking for rosters or KW logos, or if you've been around for quite a while, but you'll find all of our main resources on this website. And we wanted to make it as simple and easy to find as possible. So you'll see, we have a Meet the Leadership team. So you'll find all of our contact information. If you're brand new to Keller Williams, you can kind of put a face to the name. You'll see our emails, our phone numbers in here. And so you'll see like our launch coaches, our productivity coaches are in here. So it's just kind of helpful just to see the structure of our leadership team. So as Charlie goes through that. And then we've got locations. So if you need to look up, okay, where's the Wauwatosa office located? I've never been there before. We've got those locations in here. We've got the phone numbers. We've got emails, Wi-Fi passwords, market center numbers, everything is in this locations page per market center.
And then the resources tab.
Yeah, so resources. So we've got 2020 company performance. So if you want to check that out, office rosters. So you guys, anything that is a part of a Google Drive, it is specific to your email address. So someone outside of Keller Williams will not be able to click into this to view our office rosters or our preferred contractors, earnest money protocol, all of those links that are tied to our Google Drive. So those are private links, just if you're ever concerned about that. But as you can see, office rosters, so there will be 3 tabs per market center. Preferred contractors, feel free to go in here, add your preferred contractors. This is going to be an excellent resource. Anytime you need to find, a plumber or any sort of contractor for your clients. Transaction coordination. So if you want to learn more about what Renee and Julie do, you can click on that link. Video library, that's going to take you to our YouTube channel. And that's going to kind of give you a little breakdown of some of the playlists that we have on YouTube. Earnest Money Protocol, our entire new associate guide. The 30, 60, 90 checklist for new associates. So that breakdown is in there. KW logos. So if you're looking for generic logos, Lake Country logos, North Shore logos, they're all in that Google Drive. And then answers.kw.com. If you're interested in learning more about Command or you have a question on how to do a direct mailer, you can utilize that link. It's super helpful. I'm sure if you guys have asked me questions, I've probably sent you links to this particular website.
Yeah, guys, it's a great consortium of resources, right? What we're trying to do is consolidate where things are located to help you get what you need when you need it on the spot in any given time across all of our locations. And one of the last things I'll mention too is that you'll be able to do is you can reserve a conference room at any of the locations, North Shore, Lake Country, over in Innovation and Wauwatosa. If you need to meet clients, you have a closing, whatever it may be. Our goal is to consolidate resources to provide it to you in one easy and accessible location to serve you and your business at the highest level. Big shout out to Lindsay Vranick and Megan Casey for helping develop this and pulling this all together. Cool. All right, jumping back into it. I believe next up, we got the sheriff in town, Miss Joni Reed. Sheriff Reed, give us a little compliance updates. What do these guys need to be worried about or be paying attention to in this hot market?
Good morning. Well, we're always looking out for ourselves in this changing market, in this competitive market. One thing that some of the agents have been looking for, because of the way the competition is with writing offers, is people are putting in no inspection contingency for their buyers. And we still feel that that's very, very risky, especially for first-time buyers, not to have an inspection, not to learn about the workings of the house. And sellers aren't really that excited about having an inspection just for informational purposes only either. But this is a way that we started looking at changing or making a change to the inspection contingency, where it allows your buyer to have an inspection, but you're giving some concession to the seller to incentivize him to choose your offer over another. So we've been working with our lawyers to get the right wording, the absolute foolproof, hopefully, wording on these this addendum, so that you're not making up your own, especially where people are talking about anything over $5,000, or buyer will take care of everything up to $1,500. These are written so vaguely and differently that we felt we really needed to get a template for this and make sure that it's all written correctly with our lawyer's approval. Other companies you may be seeing are getting that same. If you're a listing agent, you may be getting this addendum. They all vary. We've been reviewing all of them, and we feel this is a really good one. What it does is defines what a defect is. So if you're putting in an inspection contingency, you remind the seller that we will only consider defects, say, of a certain amount or higher. But that wording will be sent out to you. The addendum will be in the office library in zip form. But in the meantime, I say, if you're writing an offer and you want to put in this modified inspection contingency, contact me or Steph or Kimmy, and we'll give you the wording. But as soon as we have the wording very confirmed and put into zip form, reach out to us for assistance in putting that in. But it's still very, very risky to write an offer without an inspection contingency.
Yeah, guys, big shout out to Steph, Kimmy, and Sheriff Reed for making sure that we're really staying up to date with our legal counsel to protect you guys, protect your liability, to protect your exposure. And these guys have worked really hard to kind of define those sorts of things to really protect you and your exposure in the kind of the market of the moment that we were in. So be on the lookout for a note from these guys here very, very soon. We were hoping to have the final blessing yesterday from our legal counsel. It hadn't quite come in to share the actual final wording with you just as of yet, but we hope to have that to you either today or tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that information. Cool. Thanks, Joni.
Thank you.
All right, guys, upcoming trainings and events. And a couple weeks ago in our last team meeting, I talked about why some corporations, athletic teams, mega churches, synagogues, religious organizations are more successful than others, right? And I shared this concept or practice of Havra, right? And I'm just going to kind of read it because I think it's a very, very powerful concept and term that I'm really starting to kind of soak in and take a part of the fabric of what we're trying to do here at KW to serve you guys, right? And Havra is a small group of like-minded Jews who assemble in the purposes of facilitating Shabbat and holiday prayer services, sharing communal experiences such as lifestyle events or Jewish learning. Most Shavra place in an emphasis in egalitarianism, a school of thought within political philosophy that builds from the concept of social equity, prioritizing it for all people. Depending on the participation by the entire community rather than top-down direction by clergy. My point in sharing this with you and sharing the concept of Havra is really the importance of small groups, of small segmented groups, small accountability groups, and so much of what you've seen and what we're trying to help develop as we come into the new world that we're living in is helping develop and curate the culture in the community to help you be successful at the highest possible level by leaning on others within our community, right? And a lot of what you're seeing is starting is to segment out, whether it's luxury groups or whether it's KWYP groups or whether it's various other things. And we're going to continue to do that moving forward, to get people together in small groups to mastermind and things like that, because you are powerful by learning from those and sharpening your swords from others that are doing the business at a high level than if you were sitting on an island. So don't ever feel like you're sitting on an island. Participate in Havre and understand the concept to it, and as to why we think it's so important in terms of why we're trying to bring it into our cultures and our communities here at KW to ensure that your success. So with that, I'm super stoked. She's back again. Mandy Cotty, I'm flipping it over to you to talk about what do we got coming up for upcoming trainings and events.
Great. Thank you, Charlie. I am so excited to be back. I missed all of you. And not only am I back, but I'm back in the training room. So a little preview to some things that we're working on. I know we're all so excited to get back together and to see each other. So starting next week, feel free to come down to the training room. By then, we'll have figured out how to offer this content both virtually and in person. So we have a few people here today already getting us started, but really excited to see all of you in person again, see your smiles, get that energy back going. Charlie's talking about Havre, and a great way to kind of find your group if you haven't been able to find them yet is by coming to some in-person things and meeting some people who are doing similar things for you and your business, and it's going to be fun. So if you're in Lake Country, if you're in Tosa, it'll all still be virtual as well as physical. So we're going to be able to offer you both. So hang tight as we work through some of the logistics, just as it took us a little while to figure out the logistics going fully virtual. It's going to take us a little bit of, learning and figuring things out to offer you content both ways. But feel free to come in next Tuesday down here in the training room. Music will be bumping and it'll be great to see everybody. So look forward to that. Moving into training for this week, in addition to all of the great stuff that we have in person, wanted to highlight 3 things that are happening on the live stream channels. So this Wednesday at noon, there's the Clash of the Closers. This is the Road to Mega Camp. So what this is this is the script off. So if you want to hear how top people are closing deals, this is going to be a really fun thing to jump on and hear some great scripts and things from people all across the country. That same day at 3 o'clock, we have Wealth Building, which is always fantastic with Mark King. And then on Friday, again, one of those smaller groups that we were talking about, the luxury group, there's a luxury learning series this Friday at noon, all on the live stream. All right, and of course, back in person, we have launch coaching and PC. So I'm gonna let you both hop on and talk about what we've got coming. So Amanda, what is happening today at 10:30?
Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. So this is a workshop in person at the North Shore office downstairs. It's really for anybody who is struggling with time management. Easy thing to talk about, but to actually put it into practice in a simple way is what we're doing today. So it's for new agents and experienced agents who just need a little help getting back on track with their time management and time blocking their most important activities to see the best results for their business. So I'll see you at 10:30.
Great, thanks Amanda. And the awesome thing too is next Tuesday for all of you, if you want to come down for team meeting and then just stay for launch, it'd be a really great thing to time block for your schedule. So Janine, how about you? What do we've got coming this Thursday for training here, as well as Connie will be teaching the same content out in Lake Country on Thursday?
Well, welcome back, Mandy.
Thank you.
We had a great communal experience last Thursday. So the whole hour and a half was all about lead generation and scripts. And I actually got a text from a member of the productivity class over the weekend and said, Janine, I used the open house script and I was slamming it. So congrats to Grady on that. This week, I'm going to do a listing presentation and we're going to go over sellers' objectives. And we're going to talk about the 3 key questions that you should be asking your seller to discover their motivation. So please, please come to class, even if you're not a newbie, and not talking about Jonathan. And would love to see you all.
Awesome. Thank you both. That's great. Also, some other fun stuff not that your classes aren't fun, ladies, but some other great stuff for you guys to come to just to mix and mingle and meet some of your other fellow agents. We have the taco truck is in Tosa this week. So Pedro's is going to be at KW Innovation, June 9th, 11 to 1. So come have some free lunch, meet some people, hang out and find those small groups and enjoy the sun. Should be a nice day. And then after you're full, come to the North Shore office because we're going to be drinking. We have a happy hour this Wednesday. I came back to work because there's like 3 happy hours on the training calendar and all these food trucks. So happy hour is Wednesday, June 9th, 3:30 to 5. And I'm super excited because Brad, who used to work at all of the camps, is volunteering as bartender Brad. He's going to be mixing up old fashions. So we have a little throwback video, Charlie, if you want to roll that beautiful bean footage of Brad.
So guys, this is Brad in all of his heyday when he worked at Camp Bar, and he was a regular celebrity on Fox 6.
Have to stop our patriotism. No. Brad Yates from Camp Bar is here with one of their summer cocktails. It's red, white, and booze.
Red, white, and boozy.
I brought my animals with me, so
Oh, there
I don't
you
send
go.
pictures. I just bring them right with me today.
What do you think about the sleeping? Like, I wonder about God.
So guys, Brad Yates is a local celebrity, local socialite in the Milwaukee scene, and he's gonna be slinging drinks, slinging cocktails for the happy hour. So come check out the local celebrity Brad Yates. We'd love to see you in person and bring it back together. All right, Mandy, what do we got rest of the week? Finishing up one more thing for the group.
Yep, some other great stuff we have going on is a lunch and learn with the Plooster Property Group out of Lake Country. So they are coming with some great content, 11:30 on Friday. So meet them there. It's going to be a really wonderful event, client events, and also client appreciation. So really excited about that. And then we also have a reminder for agent to agent, you guys. This is going to be every Monday moving forward with Gail Zeman. Mondays from 10 to noon. She's just giving up her time at those library tables in Innovation to just kind of go through any struggles, any wins, any help that you need, whether it's, building your database, contracts, anything. She is volunteering her time to help you guys, and she is extremely knowledgeable. So please don't forget to take advantage of that. And if you don't have anything to bring to the table, just go and meet her and talk about, some things that you might be able to do to drum up more business and make more problems to have more success. So if you're looking for things to do, there is so much going on this month, both here in person and on the live streams. So take a look at it, block off your calendars, and I'm really excited to see you guys at some of these in-person events next Tuesday. So good to be back.
Cool. Mandy, phenomenal to have you back. Personally, I can tell you I missed you a ton, and it's great to have you back, sister.
Good to be
All
back.
right, cool, guys. Tons of stuff going on. As we talked about, the reason I led with Havra is we're trying to create small groups, small communities, and for you guys to get to reconnect with people and create that culture and community. So it may seem like a lot. Don't feel overwhelmed. You don't got to go to everything. We're just trying to present opportunities, different times, different days, different ways for you to meet people, connect, and get back together. All right. Now, quick update for you guys, a few leadership changes, a few leadership updates, and a new hire we want to introduce you to. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about the Silver Spring in North Shore renovation plans coming up in summer of 2021. That is, we go in front of state for state approvals on this renovation plans here in middle of July. We hope to have this started by August and rocking and rolling here in the fall as a total renovation of the space. We've sent it out, talked about it, but just wanted to remind the group as we are coming out of Memorial Day holiday that there's some major things happening here on Silver Spring Drive to reinvest back in the business to make this the place that you love to bring your clients and love to do business. Next up, we've talked about it before, but we're looking for some really talented individuals for massive opportunity, right? We're looking for an agent services coordinator to backfill Julia Ola, who went on to do big new things down in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm looking for a leader to join Mandy, Diana, and I as the team leader serving the innovation group over in Tosa, Elm Grove, and Brookfield. So if you know anybody, think someone may be good, let them, hit me up. We're always looking for great talent. And with that, when talent shows up, opportunities present themselves, right? So I'm super stoked to introduce to you guys. We are hiring a new head count, a new person to our leadership team to serve you guys at the highest level, is we're bringing on a director of training, education, and relocation services, right? This person has been with KW for several years, is well-versed in the command system, ran operations for a team all through command, ran it at a very high level, knows it well, knows how teams operate, knows how individuals operate, started as a brand new licensed agent, joined a team, went into operations for a team, has done lots of different really neat things, incredibly caring, was also a mentor in our productivity coaching program. And we track everything, guys. And when we tracked it, she was the most productive mentor of helping people get into productivity. And so she raised her hand and said, hey, I'm interested in doing more in helping and serving in a broader, bigger scale. And as we started talking and having conversations, we just thought the fit was like a glove, right? And so we're super stoked to announce and introduce to you guys, Kathleen Wooten will be joining the leadership teams to serve all three of the locations as the director of training, education, and relocation. And you're like, great, that's awesome. Kathleen, welcome to the squad. What exactly does that mean and what's she up to? Here's what she's going to be doing. She's going to be managing all aspects of training and educational content across all phases of production. So whether you're a newly licensed person, whether you're someone who's on the roller coaster ride of production, who's trying to figure out how to make the foundation work, or you're a team and you're looking for opportunities, you're looking for coaching, or you're looking for talent, Kathleen's going to be your girl. She is incredibly, incredibly talented individual. She's going to be setting up our new agent orientation to help people set their foundation when they enter into the KW world. She's going to be our conduit to MAPS coaching. She's going to help set up accountability groups in our segmented learning series through KW Luxury, KWYP, as well as Maureen and Friends. And then also, I talked about a little bit about relocation companies and corporate relocation companies. We're doing more and more of it. And those relocation companies want one point of contact. So Kathleen Wooten is going to run it at a 10,000 foot view to help be that conduit between relocation, between your clients and the relocation companies, and making sure that we have all our ducks in a row so that you guys can serve your clients at the highest level. Wooten, welcome to the squad. Give us a little bit of updates as to who you are and what your vitals are, sister.
Hi, thanks for the warm welcome. I know I was getting some cheers here in Lake Country. I've been with KW for 3 years now. I've been a mentor for over a year, and it's really kind of my calling to help teach new agents how to really jump into productivity. So my goal is to help create some more sustainable education and training programs to really ramp up and beef up what we already have, because we have a lot of great content, but really just getting it into a place where it's organized and systematic and structured. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Wooten, welcome to the squad, Wooten. Congrats. Well, guys, be sure to introduce yourselves. She's going to be jumping between all three locations to help serve all you guys. And to her point, we got a lot of great stuff. And it comes at us fast and furious, and she's going to help create organization to the chaos that we all see every single day. So Wooten, welcome to the team. We're super stoked for you. All right, guys, we're jumping into it. Where is the market headed? What is going on? And how can I help you understand what is the market of the moment, right? What is the market of the moment and what is going on? And last week, or last team meeting 2 weeks ago, I really should say, I shared with you a script that I created around the dominoes that need to fall. And we talked about the demographics and what's going on within the supply and demand factors within the marketplace, and how to talk about the market in a very simplistic, easy way to your clients, friends, family, sphere of influence, database, whoever that may be, around the script of the dominoes that need to fall. One of the other things I put together and I shared 2 weeks ago as well, and I'll make sure to share both of these out again today, is the grocery store pitch around the demographics and how demographics are driving the current market of the moment and what's going on here. So there's a few nuggets to talk about with your clients around demographics, right? But one of the things I wanted to talk about is last week on, I believe, Wednesday morning, June 2nd, we had a really what I would call interesting conversation with Fairway Mortgage, where they provided a product offering they have around reverse mortgages. And the reason I talk about reverse mortgages and why I think I'm just pointing this out, it's available to you guys to rewatch on the YouTube channel or pick pieces out of it, is this is the first domino that needs to fall. And the idea behind the reverse product mortgage is it allows you to provide essentially a line of credit or a line of equity to your clients who have lots of equity within their homes, and then flip it into their next purchase, right? So they can do some very creative financing options to, again, help that first domino fall. So I wanted to point that out to make sure that you guys knew that that training was recorded. It is on the YouTube channel for you to check out to help clients have that first domino fall, right? So now, language of real estate report, the lower report, May of 21. What is going on in the marketplace and what to make of the market of the moment? And I've shared with you a few reminders, but right now they are more important than ever because we are in the heat of the market of the moment in some what I would call deceptive numbers. So what I'm going to share with you is this: warning. The market is deceptive. What do I mean by that? Last year in April, the market was down 60 to 70%. So some of the numbers that you're going to see here for the month of May and so far for year to date, they're deceptive numbers because it seems like everything is in fuego, but you have to understand we're hurdling soft comps. We can't understand the market of the moment in its entirety until we get through the fall when we have more a true read as to what's going on, because right now the market is deceptive with soft comps based off of last spring, right? It's a humbling market. Despite the numbers you will see today, it is a humbling market. I know many, many successful agents who are struggling in the current market of the moment because it is a humbling market, right? And it leads me into the next one. Great markets don't last, great agents do. Why? Because you're not in it to have a great year, you're in it to build a great career. So these are my reminders for you as we head into the market of the moment and what is the market telling us. All right, jumping into it. Here is Milwaukee Metro MLS numbers, right? And I'm going to go through to show you the leading metrics that led to close production. And I'm going to show you, right? Listings taken units and contracts written units are the two most important factors that lead to future production, right? So if we look here back in November of 2020, you can see here listings taken units was down 5%, contracts written units was up 21%. It led to a really solid December. Now, December closed units. Now looking back, December, the lead metrics, listings taken units was solid, plus 6%, contracts written units up 20%. What did it lead to? It led to a really strong, solid January of closed production. Now let's look ahead as to what happened in January that led to February closed production, right? You're seeing a trend here. What we see here is we're looking for listings taken units and contracts written units as what our leading indicators of what the market is going to tell us for future business. So jumping ahead, you can see here for March, and the reason why I bring up February and March is February of 21 versus February of 20, listings taken units was down 34% and contracts written units was down 12%. And you can see March closed was essentially flat. Now, it came back relatively stronger, right? Contracts written units is buyer demand, and listings taken units was stronger than the comparative month, right? Even though it was still down 8%, it led to a solid April. So where did that lead us for the month of May? Month of May, listings taken units, where did it happen in April that led to May? In April, listings taken units were up 36%. Again, the market is deceptive. Don't read into these numbers too much. Contracts written units were up 40%. Again, the market is deceptive. Don't read into the numbers too much because of soft comps and soft hurdles from last year, March of 2020, when everybody was stay at home and the business was pretty much in the tank. So May ended up across the Metro MLS, closed units was up 23%, closed volume was up 42%. Guys, it's deceptive. Don't believe the hype. It's not as strong as you think it is, okay? However, I say that with a caveat because we look here in May of last year is when the world started to really begin to open up from a real estate perspective, and what led us on the tear that we saw from essentially June into November of last year, which was an incredibly strong residential real estate market. The reason I lead with that is to say twofold. One, listings taken units up 7.7% in the month of May is a very good leading indicator of what we should see in June, July, and August. If listings taken units is up in the month of May, it means that we're going to start to be slinging some deals here, right? It means we're coming into peak selling season as we start to look at that, and I'll get into it in a second because I have more data to support this. 2, contracts written units. These are the contracts that are written for buyers on homes in the market. If you just look at the last 3 months, plus 14%, plus 40%, again, deceptive in the month of April, plus 14% in the month of May. You can see here contracts written volume up 26%. I am suspecting that we are going to, my point here is historically we have shoulder seasons in residential real estate, and we really peak around April, May, June, and we start to hit the shoulder seasons again as we head into summer and fall. I actually don't think that we're heading into the shoulder seasons just yet. We're actually still peaking. We are still peaking into the market, and the market has shifted now to be more of, instead of a heavy spring market, it'll be a little bit more of a heavier late spring, summer, potentially early fall. It's too early to tell what fall will look like, but potentially early fall. And again, I have more data to showcase to you around that. Now, again, just pulling these are somewhat deceptive because everybody had really soft springs last year, but here's the top 10 firms across the southeastern Wisconsin metro market, across the 5-county metro area, right? Again, deceptive numbers because of the soft hurdles and comps that we saw March, April, May. But I pulled it for year to date from 1/1 to this morning from June 8th, just to provide you, again, context, as if you start hearing things within the market of everybody's world is on fire, well, you have to understand the context as to why the market is deceptive right now because of soft comps of March, April, May. So don't believe the hype when you hear everybody in the media or you hear other agents talking about everything as the world is on fire, because check back with them in August, September, and in October of this year when we have harder hurdles and harder comps. So I share it with you guys for perspective to give you the facts and the data, because facts and data remove emotions and remove subjectivity to information. But I provide it to you to just say, the market's good, but don't believe the hype right now because it's deceptive. Now, jumping in here across the locations, couple things I want to share with you. KW Innovation, shout out, now cracks the top 30 office locations in all of the Metro MLS, up 138% over the last 12 months. KW Prestige up in Germantown is the 25th largest office, up 91%. KW Lake Country now cracking the top 4 offices in all of southeastern Wisconsin, up 98% over the last 12 months. Top 4 offices in all of Metro MLS. KW Southwest, number 2, up 35% latest 12 months. And KW North Shore, what I call the runaway freight train, continues to do incredible things. Shout out to everybody across all the locations in southeastern Wisconsin for, again, continued success, continued momentum when you see this versus the peer groups and peer locations across southeastern Wisconsin. Here's the lore report. Again, it's slightly deceptive, guys. I wouldn't buy too much into these numbers because they're a little inflated year to date through the month of May for the group out of the North Shore office. You can see here, Metro MLS year to date is up 13% so far on closed units. The North Shore group is outpacing it, up 32%. Closed sales volume up 24%. Listings taken, again, the most important factor that I look at, listings taken units and contracts written units. Again, the MLS up 1.7, North Shore up 22, contracts written units up 15 for the market, and up 39 for North Shore. Again, guys, the numbers are a little deceptive. I even was nervous about sharing these because I didn't want people to get the wrong information, but knowing that this is going to be coming out in the media and people are going to be talking about it, oh my God, the real estate market's on fire. Yes, but we have to understand what we're also hurdling and what we're comping here is very soft comps from last spring. Now, Lake Country crew, again, there's not much else to say other than it's freaking in fuego. I mean, almost every single major metric is up 100%. Again, we'll see how this shakes out the rest of the year, but success is outpacing the market average. So if we're outpacing the market average, it means we're taking share across the marketplace. And this is a consortium or conglomerate of all the success that you guys are having in the marketplace. So kudos to you. Now, Tosa Elm Grove Brookfield crew, what does that mean? Guys, here's what I know. Across all the major brokerages, KW is the number 2 player in the Tosa Elm Grove Brookfield markets across all brokerages when we combine everybody. Shore West is still number 1 in this market, and they're up 5%. But you can see the continued growth trend of KW serving these 3 communities specifically continues to remain really, really strong. Now, all of that is great and all of that is well. And what all does this mean when we look about GCI and gross commission incomes? Here's what I know. We paid a $5.2 million to our associates across all our locations in Milwaukee in the month of May. That was a 77% increase versus May of 2020. People are in this group associated to KW Milwaukee made 77% more income this year than they did last year. Again, it's a little deceptive in terms of the percentage growth because of the soft hurdles that we had last year. But again, 5.2 million in gross commission incomes paid is nothing to bat an eye at. When you look at it across year to date, total so far, agents at KW have made $14.1 million, almost $14.2 million in gross commission incomes. That is a 25% increase over 2020. All incredible stuff. People are having incredible success for them and their families. And how does this correlate to profit share? Here's what I know. In May of 2021, which will be paid out on June 21st, we're going to be paying out $111,000 in profit share. It's a 66% increase over May of last year. Now, year to date, it's $429K. It's a 192% increase over last year. Guys, we've talked about passive income and the ability. I mean, last time I checked, if you put your money in the market and the market's been really hot, or if you put market or money in the real estate market, are you getting returns of 66% or 192% growth rates? You aren't. It's not even possible. I mean, you'd almost think people would consider this to be Bernie Madoff type returns, right? It's not Bernie Madoff. People love to talk about a pyramid scheme, all those other things. Forget about it, right? It's incredible returns. Profit share is an incredibly passive, powerful tool for you. And I bring it up because if you aren't paying attention to it, you should, because someone's taking advantage of it and they're getting paid. Congrats. Also, one other shout out, 26% of the total entire year will be paid out on June 21st. 26% of that $429,000 will be paid out on June 21st. So check your bank accounts June 21st to see if you're earning profit share this month, in the month of May. And big shout out to all of those who've helped us provide introductions to people who are looking for new opportunities within the KW world. All right, guys, awards for the month of May and year to date. Success reminder, success is outpacing the market average. So if you understand in looking at the LORA reports and where the LORA reports are trending and where the market is telling us, as long as you're outpacing the market, it means you're taking share versus where you were or versus your peer group, right? So a couple other things. We had a handful of people who received some major awards across the Keller Williams universe for 2020. And these awards were handed out and recognized way back in February, right? We had a handful of people in the North Shore and a handful of people in Lake Country who received some awards. And we talked about it way long ago in February, and because of sourcing reasons and a lot of other things related to COVID and supply chain, these things just showed up in our offices last week. So we're super stoked to get these out to everybody individually and to the teams. As a reminder, here were some of the awards that came out from Keller Williams International. Big shout out to John Molitor, who was the number 10 individual agent for unit count, closed unit count across the Midwest. Big shout out to the J. Schmidt Group, the number 1 group in the Midwest for total closed units. Molitor again, number 8 across individual closed GCI. Team GCI, so a little clarification, groups are the way they clarify this are groups of people with more than 2 licensees. Teams are 2 licensees, individuals are 1 licensee. So Team GCI for Gallagher Lake Country with Bruce and Kathy. Big shout out to the number 2 Team GCI across KWRI in 2020. And then Group GCI, number 1 J. Schmidt Group, number 3 Falk Rubin Gallagher, number 7 Stale Realty Group across the upper Midwest. These awards all came in last week. We'll be making sure we get these out to that group. And again, similar things here. Molitor again showing up on individual volume. Gallagher Lake Country, the number 1 team in the upper Midwest for 2 licensees at $83.5 million in 2020. And then groups volume, JSG, number 1, Falk Rubin Gallagher, number 2, Stale Realty Group, number 7, and Team Trimble. Big shout out to Karen Trimble, Kathy Popovich in the group. Team Trimble, number 9 across the upper Midwest last year, closing $77.9 million. So we just got these in last week. We will make sure that we are delivering these to everybody individually, and big shout out to those who've been recognized. All right, jumping into it. $1 Million Month Club in the month of May. What do we got? A handful of people to shout out. Abby Wall, who is just about to have another baby. Big shout out to Abby Wall, her and her family. Congrats on $1 million month in the month of May. Danielle Forrest, shout out. Gabby Borowski, Ginger Lazovic, Jen Kootney, Julie Scott, Katie Neville, Lauren Foy, Maggie Drain, Mary Wright, Meredith Ean, Stephen Gazdowiak, the young group with Randy and Morgan, who are just coming hot off of a wedding, and so many more here that you can see here across the $1 Million Month Club in the month of May. Next up, the Home Run Club. To me, this is the most important club. Why? Because it means you got paid today and you're going to get paid tomorrow. Why? Because it means you took one listing taken, one contract written, one contract closed. Big shout out to Annie Jerzik, Betsy Williamson Wong. Come on, Betsy. Bradley Wabashewski. Come on, Bradley. Cindy Nagel. Dan is Wild. Come on, Dan Wild. Guy Nicolette. Katie Hoven, Lisa Erdman, Mary Beth Freckman, Meg Wright, Mike Legend, Big Mike Schaefer, Nicole McGonigal, Patricia Kilburn, Robert Carruthers, TJC, Tamika Jones Clay, and William Lauer. Big shout out along with the rest of the group. It's a big group this month who had a home run club in the month of May. All right, Deej, what do you got for Lake Country to finish this out?
Awesome. Well, you guys, those great results come because of the work that you're doing. So I want to recognize everybody on this. We're seeing some familiar names. Team Trimble at 6 for May, Gallagher Lake Country at 5.1, and Pluster Property Group coming in at 3.1. Congratulations, you guys. Year to date, Gallagher Lake Country is setting the pace for us to 20 million, right? 20.9. Team Trimble and Pluster Property Group. Year to date, you guys control your units. 30 for Pluster Property, 20 for Team Trimble, and Gallagher Lake Country at 15. Awesome work, you guys. Individual awards, Gabby Borowski, congratulations, 1.1, and I saw you on all of those other reports, so great work. Fatima Perry, 780, and Kevin Matson, 2 names we don't see here very often, but I think they're going to be coming more and more. Year to date, Robin McCormick, still up there, number 1. John Lorenz and Andy Sabler, great work, everybody, and units. 17, 10, 10, and 8. You guys, congratulations. Great work.
Cool. Shout out to that group out in Lake Country. All right, here we go. North Shore and Innovation Crew. Here you go. May individual volume. Molitor setting the pace at 2.3 million. Sarah Oberbrunner clipping at his heels, 2.2. Shout out to Joey Carini, Abby Wall, Stephen G, Julie Scott, Carla Florence, Jennifer Kootney, Dave Gesvain, and Alyssa Burkhoff rounding out the top 10 for the month of May for individual volume. Here you go, year to date, individual units. Again, as Deej pointed out, the market gives you volume. Agents control their units. Molitor leading the pack at 26. Nick Fetting clipping at his heels at 24. Oberbrunner, Carini, Brian Pat. Big shout out to Brian Pat and Jan Hamlin. Schweppe with Schweppe Homes International. Andrea Crivello, Stephen G, Julie Lincoln, Paula G, and Heather Townsend rounding out the top 10 so far for individual units year to date. And here is the individual unit or individual volume year to date so far for individual agents for the top 10 across the North Shore and Innovation Group. Now, next up, May team volume, JSG leading the pack as they usually do at 21.9 million. Stolly Realty Group, 14.5. Falk Grooving Gallagher, 13.3. Key Home, On Point Realty, Houseworks Collective, Nicollet Group, Double Bolt, Duval, and AG Realty Group rounding out the top 10 for the month of May. Those are killer Mays across all the top 10. Congrats, guys. Now, as we talked about, market gives you volume. Agents control their units. JSG leading the unbelievable pace, 163 closed units so far year to date. Falk Grooving Gallagher number 2 at 89, SRG at 48. Key Home, Houseworks Collective, Duval Group, On Point, KCN, big shout out to KG and the KCN network at 33. The Zeman Group, I mean, Elena goes off to have a baby and the business just keeps going to the moon. Big shout out to the Zeman Group. Congrats, Elena. And Andrews and Koenig rounding out the top 10 for team units so far year to date. And then here you can see year-to-date team volume for the top 10 across both North Shore and Innovation Group. Guys, all of KW's continued success, all of KW's continued momentum, and our ability to reinvest back in you is a collective efforts of everything that you guys have done. So big shout out to you guys. All right, guys, wrapping it up for you. What is going on in the market insights this week and what is the market telling us? Here we go. Showing time activity across North America. It's slightly down when you look at it versus 2019 and 2020 in North America. Good news is in Wisconsin, it's slightly up, but we saw a little bit of a dip. We had a little bit of a post-holiday hangover with buyer activity. We'll see where this trend continues. Again, Last year, the market came back with a big boom. So we're slightly behind where we were so far in June of 2020, but we're ahead of where we were in June of 2019. So something we'll be paying attention to. Now, when you look here at months of supply inventory, there's a lot on this page, but here's what you need to know on the right side. A balanced market is 6 months of supply. Right now, in May of 2021, we're sitting on 1.2 months of supply. That's the lowest it's been in over 4 years. It's down 51% versus 2019, right? It's crazy. And what you can see here, the blue line is the corresponding days on market. So obviously, clearly is what everybody's feeling is days on market has had a sharp decline with the months of supply inventory that we've had. You can see the major impacts that demand and supply has had and the pressures that it's putting on the marketplace. Now, next up, days on market. We talked about it a little bit. May of 2019. Again, I'm always comparing everything to 2019 because of 2020 right now. It's too much of an anomaly to compare from a comparable standpoint. May of 21, it was 25 days on market, right? We've seen homes are selling at a rate 38% faster than they were in 2019. They are selling 38% faster than they were in 2019. Now, sales absorption rate, it's the percentage of inventory that goes under contract. It's the largest indication of demand. May of 21, 42.7% of the total inventory went under contract. It's the highest it's been in 2 years, right? They are going under contract incredibly, incredibly fast. And what this is telling us is the market is moving very, very efficiently through inventory. Okay, now units that are going under contract, what is this telling us on a monthly basis? Last month, in the month of May, there were 2,845 units that went under contract. In May of 2019, there was 2,679. It's a 6.2% units increase in units that went under contract versus May of 2019. Why is this important? Because you'll see here in a second, total inventory is down 32%. So the fact that we sold 6.2% more units in the month of May with 32% less inventory tells you the incredible demand continues in the marketplace. The other thing I wanted to point out too, right? We talked a little bit about shoulder seasons and where you see peaks and where you see valleys within this data. What I would point out to you here, units that went under contract, usually we see peaks right here, May, June, May and June. That if you look at historical data, so that's 2019. Now, look at 2020, where we saw the peaks within the data was August, well, really was July, August, September, before we hit shoulder season. What's interesting to me is I think that the market is going to continue very similarly to what we saw last year, where we are going to continue to peak into June, July, August, potentially September before we hit shoulder season, late fall. So I continue to see the market to continue to rise. And why do I see that? Because when I look at units that went under contract on a weekly basis, we are continuing to see the data rise over time on a week-by-week basis. And if I thought that we were going to start to see the shoulder season hit in the summer, that we would start to see this number or these numbers start to decline. So this is units under contract. Now, new unit inventory, same thing. If you look at the peaks and valleys of peaks versus the shoulder season, the peaks usually happen in May and June in historical seasons. Last year, it happened in July, August, September. What we're starting to see is I truly believe that the peaks are going to be happening in midsummer in terms of total new inventory that's coming to the marketplace, right? The good news here is that we're only off 12% of May of 21 versus May of 2019. And it sounds like a lot, only off 12% of new inventory units. However, when you compare that versus the trend of being down 20 or 30% over the last several months, that's a significant improvement. It means we're off by about 100 units a week in terms of new inventory. When we look at this on a weekly basis, again, it's continuing to rise, continuing to build. This is why I'm very bullish on the summer and fall market. I'm very bullish on the summer and fall market. I don't think it's going to fall off after the spring, is because we continue to see these numbers rise as this relates to new inventory units. Now, total inventory, last two slides in the morning, guys. I know it's been a ton of information for you guys, but 2-year inventory for total inventory, it bottomed in February of 21, when this is what I talked about earlier, considering that units were up 6.7% versus May of 2019, when we saw total inventory down 33%, is incredible. We're starting to build back from where we were in February, hitting rock bottom, and it's going to continue. We're essentially what I would call in recovery mode for total inventory. It's coming back. We're coming. And I also am very, very bullish on summer and fall, right? And then the reason I say that is because when I look at this as total inventory on a weekly basis, we hit rock bottom here again in February, March timeframe, and we're starting to see inventory build. Despite how quickly homes are selling in the demand in the marketplace, we're rebuilding total inventory on the marketplace on a week-by-week basis, which is very positive signs for our industry. Again, what is the nugget of all of this data and information? I'm very bullish as we head into June, July, August, as to it relates to continued activity in the marketplace and more inventory hitting the market. Cool. Guys, it was a ton of information. We had a lot of people to celebrate, a lot of people to share, tons of new information. Guys, thank you for sticking it through. Hopefully you found the information useful for you and your business and your clients. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to serve you at the highest level. Guys, if there's anything, Lake Country crew, jump off to the Lake Country meetup. North Shore and Innovation crew, I will switch over to new listings and buyer needs. Guys, have a great week. Be great.